Hey survivors, it's Angie Atkinson with QueenBeing.com, and today we're going to get back to the talk about sex and the narcissist, okay? So we have talked briefly about the fact that narcissists tend to go one of three ways when it comes to having sex, and that is once they're in the relationship, that is either A, they are withholding sex in order to manipulate you, or B, they're trying to manipulate and control you with sex by having more sex than you'd like and different sex than you'd like, or C, some combination of those two things. All right. So today we're going to cover the withholding narcissist, and we're going to talk about why they withhold, what it looks like, what it means, and how it all works. All right. So let's get started. My name is Angie Atkinson, and this channel is all about teaching you what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. All right, let's start right here. First of all, I think we would all agree that sex with a narcissist is almost never normal, at least not once you get past the love bombing stage. All right, so there's just really nothing loving about it in most cases, and there's nothing romantic about it in most cases once we get past the initial love bombing phase, right? So let's talk about it. All right, so again, we're going to talk today about sexual withholders in narcissistic relationships. So here's how they look. Okay, they might seem to be very, very self-righteous. They might seem to act like sex is bad. They might make you feel like sex is bad. They appear to be sexual, um, like, no, what's the word I'm looking for? They look asexual to everyone outside of themselves. They refuse sex. They will not allow you to, even in some case, if they found out that you masturbated, they would have a problem. They might make you throw away your vibrator or your toys or whatever. And of course, the unfortunate part of this comes down to the fact that a lot of times these people are secretly pornography addicts. Okay, so yeah, and sadists, actually. And on the other side of it, okay, and what we're going to discuss more tomorrow are the sex addicts, the obvious ones, that you can't give them enough sex, and even if you do, you're never enthusiastic enough, or good enough, or rough enough, or crazy, or weird, or gross enough. You know, it never quite gets them to where they want to go, and they're always looking for more. And then, of course, a lot of times there's going to be cheating, especially with that type of narcissist. In both cases, the sex is not about the connection or the sex. It's not about love or pleasure or any of that stuff. Nope, not about bonding, not about having babies. Quite honestly, it's all about number one thing. You know what it is? Control. That's right. All right, so let's dig into this withholder personality, shall we? So the withholder is going to seem to be real, like he might be super religious, or she might, because believe me, this could be a man or a woman. A lot of people would think that the withholder is always going to be a woman, but no, no. Women or men could be a narcissistic withholder when it comes to sex. Okay, so the narcissistic person who withholds sex in his relationship or her relationship is someone who might be super smart or appear that way. They might tell you that, oh, I'm all in my head about it. And, people who are always screwing around on each other, they're not as smart or as evolved as me. Uh, you know, uh, Horniness in general might be a problem. Feeling excited or turned on might be a problem. They might make you feel dirty anytime you express any sort of sexual desire toward them, even. And God forbid you walk around looking all hot because they won't like that either. All right. So sometimes narcissists kind of are sadists, and this type of narcissist tends to kind of lean toward the sadist stuff. Okay, here's the thing: the narcissist isn't really, anti-sex. It's just that they're not. They're messed up about it in their heads, and so they're getting off one way or another, just maybe not how you want them to or expect them to. So the thing about sadists is they like to hurt other people. They get off on hurting other people. They will see you in pain, and they will laugh. When it comes to sex, they will see you frustrated and alone and feeling rejected and hurt, and they will get off on it. Oh, yeah. So, why do they like this so much? Why do they get off on it? Well, first of all, you have to remember that your narcissist probably secretly is really not that thrilled about who you are. And what I mean is they have a lot of contempt for you. They feel scared of you just as you know, just as much as they want you in their life. If that makes any sense, they feel threatened by you. They seek to hurt you by either, destroying you sexually or by withholding sex from you, and in this case, withholding sex from you. So they really, their feelings about sex are confusing to even them. All right. So it makes sense that they're confusing to us. But why do they withhold sex? Because they don't know how to deal with it in their own minds in a healthy way. They withhold sex because it allows them to control you, make you feel rejected, less than, blah blah blah. Sure, they might have sex with you occasionally, but sometimes at the very last moment they'll change their mind, or they'll tell you that you were no good, or they'll make you feel like it's all your fault. They'll say you're too fat, they'll say you're too old, they'll say you're too young, they'll say you're too skinny, it doesn't matter. Whatever you are, they'll say you're something that you shouldn't be or that they wish you weren't. Of course, all this time, they are, sneaking around and looking through all your stuff. They might look for toys or vibrators or whatever, and if they find anything, you will get shamed if you have the nerve to have a sex drive. They will make you feel so bad. If you're a man, and let's say you have, some little bottle of hand lotion on the nightstand or something, or under your mattress, and if your narcissistic partner finds it, she's gonna go crazy on you and act like you're cheating on her. If you're a woman and you had, a little vibrator in your nightstand drawer or whatever, and they find it, same deal, you're going to get shamed. And you may have to pretend to enjoy sex in order to make this person feel loved in the very rare times that you do have sex with them. But by then you're so desperate, you'll almost take anything you can get, right? But if they find out that you are not enjoying the sex, and you pretend, like say you pretend to have an orgasm and they find out that you pretended, you're going to be in trouble. Some of these people will actually go so far as to say that if they aren't the source of your orgasm, you don't get to have one. Oh, yeah. So it's like them or nothing. It's outrageous. Of course, in the meantime, there's this other horrible thing that happens where they're closet porn addicts. Okay, we kind of talked about this a little bit before. Let's go into some detail here, shall we? So here you are in this torturous relationship where you're not getting any sex, you're not allowed to pleasure yourself, you're not allowed to do anything except whatever the narcissist tells you to do, right? Well, then you find out, oh, this person's really into porn. As a matter of fact, it's porn, it's masturbation, and you may find that, as painful as it is for you, that the narcissist will masturbate watching porn with other people besides you in it, because I know that was a sticking point for me. It was painful for me to watch, to know that I was not the thing that made this person whatever. So I know the pain. The pain is, it feels like you have not, like you're not worthy. It feels like you're not good enough. It feels like there's literally nothing you can do to be good enough, because you can never look like the people in the videos, and even if you could, you might not even want to. And because the videos become increasingly intense, so depending on what stage you catch them in, you may catch them watching, regular old porn with man and woman, or woman and woman, or man and man, or whatever they're into. Or you might catch them watching something completely outrageous, like a circus clown hanging from a trapeze, doing some weird stuff with a midget. You know what I'm saying? I know that's an exaggeration, but maybe not. I've seen much worse, or heard of much worse anyway. The thing that's even worse about all of this is that they're fine with it. They don't see how their behavior could possibly have anything to do their behavior and their pornography habits could possibly have anything to do with their relationship with you, they see it as completely separate from your relationship. A lot of people in this society do, to be fair. This is not something that is just exclusive to narcissists. But with that being said, there was a study done in 2014 that actually proved that narcissists were among the people who were most likely to watch porn on the internet. Interesting, huh? Anyway, so for a narcissist, it's because sex becomes a solitary thing. It becomes, especially this type of narcissist, when they are the withholding type, they really actually prefer to masturbate instead of have sex. So they don't equate sex with anything except for masturbation. But if they, in their minds, if they do equate sex with love, they don't know how to have sex. I mean, they don't know how to make love or have love, and so they just see sex as love. Great. But it's a solitary thing at this point for them when they get into this part of the relationship. The worse the sex is, the kinkier, the weirder, the more crazy, the more outrageous, the more they like it. And like I said, this is like a build-up. They might start out watching just some basic porn with two people having sex. And then it might become like threesomes and orgies and God knows what else. And eventually what happens is they become incapable of being stimulated by basic porn because they watch so much of it. They need to get weirder and weirder and weirder. And when it gets more and more intense, more and more strange, it can really begin to cause issues for them as well as you, obviously. The addiction can actually get stronger and more painful for the person on the other side of it. Of course, the first time you catch a narcissist looking at porn, they will freak out on you. Okay, it will be your fault. You were invading their privacy, or you had some problem with something that they were doing that was totally normal and everybody does it anyway. I don't know what your problem is. You might tell them, you know what, it kind of feels to me like you're cheating on me when you look at porn, especially when you won't have sex with me. And then they'll be like, oh, it has nothing to do with us, da 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 da. And then depending on the stage of the relationship that you're in, they may get super mean. If it's, you've been together 10 years, 5 months, whatever, depending on how, where you are in the cycle at the moment that you catch them. If you're in the love bombing phase, they'll probably apologize and swear they'll never do it again. Of course they will. If you're in the phase where, you're starting to be devalued, you might just get, whatever, get over it. It's not a big deal. Just get over it. It's nothing. Everybody does it. And then depending on whether you're in the discard phase or not in the relationship, which can keep recycling and often does, when you're in the discard phase, they're going to be horrible to you. They're going to shame you. They're going to say, well, maybe if you weren't so fat, maybe if you weren't so this, that, or the other thing, you're the problem. I have to watch porn because you're the problem. That's what they'll go with. And it's a blame game. It's endless. It's horrible. They'll tell you you're not hot enough. They'll tell you, you're having an affair. That's why, when you're not. They'll tell you you're too, whatever. It's always your fault. They might say some really nasty things to you. Always your fault. And then when you get to the part where you need any sort of validation, these types of narcissists will absolutely have nothing to do with it. Yeah. So the good news is not everybody's like that. Not every man in the world is like that. Not every woman in the world is like that, thank goodness. But the bad news is we got stuck with some messed up people. So anyway, all right, I'm going to wrap this up for today. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to cover the sex addict narcissist, the one who over pushes the whole sex thing way too much. That's like a really bad sentence, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, so let me know, do you have a withholding narcissist? Have you been with a withholding narcissist? What would you do if you were with a withholding narcissist? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below and let me know what you think. And if you have questions, comments, or concerns regarding narcissism, narcissistic abuse recovery, or narcissists and sex, leave them below. I will answer them in an upcoming video. All right? Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being a part of my day and a part of my life. Thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really means so much to me. I'll see you soon. It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body, take care of your soul, nurture the real you, and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot, take it now, and the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.